Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another thrift haul. This is part 2 of 2, I guess, of the thrift hauls that I am posting right now on my channel. If you haven't already seen part 1, you can go ahead and go back to my channel and watch it. Otherwise, I will have it linked in the description bar below. That was a thrift haul of all Depop thrifted items that I had purchased. And now this second portion is going to be all of the items recently and not so recently that I have thrifted and kept around to make a haul out of. Normally when I thrift here in Green Bay or the Green Bay area, I hit up the St. Vincent de Paul over where I live and a couple Goodwills, but my favorite Goodwill is actually the one up in my hometown of Marinette. For some reason I always have a really good chance of finding some good stuff. I figured I would start out this thrift haul with the books that I have been finding while I've been thrifting, and then we will move into the clothes. We will go ahead and start out with some Edgar Allan Poe. For those of you who don't know me, I am hugely obsessed with Edgar Allan Poe. I have a massive Edgar Allan Poe collection on my bookshelf right now. His complete works, his short stories, his poems, his life. Everything is so fascinating, and whenever I go thrifting, doesn't matter where I go, I am always searching for some Poe books. This one I paid 59 cents for, and it's the Selected Stories and Poems of Edgar Allan Poe. This one, a good chunk of the pages are falling out, but I might super glue them in, or I might just leave them. This one in particular was copyright in 1962. And this is what the cover of the book looks like. We have some illustrations of the man, the myth, the legend himself, Edgar Allan Poe. And it looks like the black cat and the raven and Annabelle Lee possibly are on the cover. And then for a whole $1, I found the Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is the novel of the film. My favorite film rendition of Dracula is Bram Stoker's Dracula, so this is pretty cool. This is like the little cover with the Dracula, looks like the ghost of Dracula, and then young, attractive Dracula and Mina giving each other a smooch on the cover. I own a couple versions of Dracula too because I'm a big sci-fi horror nut, especially classics. So when I find thrifted versions of them that would be a nice addition into my collection, I go ahead and pick them up. Another thing in literature that I'm obsessed with are the classic Goosebump books by R.L. Stine. I grew up reading these, and sometimes I think this was my gateway into the bigger horror sci-fi genre. I have almost the whole entire collection of originals. I'm missing like 3 or 4, and then I have them all, which is crazy because I thrifted all of them. Between myself and my cousin and my mom, we have made lists and thrifted all of them. This one though, I didn't have. It's the 10 Spooky Stories Special Edition number 2. Here is the classic Goosebumps lettering, and then it looks like some little skeleton guys on a campsite telling a story. I will always buy the classic Goosebumps books if I see them. R.L. Stine is actually coming to Green Bay, I think in a few months, for like a book event we have, like the Titletown District has, and I am going to bring one of them. I'm going to have him sign it, and who knows, it could be a possible tattoo idea in the future because I am obsessed with R.L. Stine. I also typically thrift for old Stephen King novels. So here is the cover with the Stephen King in the big old red, and then Christine with the little skull right here. I will always love anything Stephen King. I've read most of his classics or his old literature. I haven't really kept up with him as much now. I still read a few of his books. My dad and I both are big Stephen King people. This book is from 1962, and it is More Nightmares and Weird Tales by Robert Bloch, the author of Psycho, which Alfred Hitchcock obviously is the film creator of Psycho, which is incredible. I have that sitting on my shelf somewhere, and I have a couple copies of Psycho as a book as well. This caught my eye because of the design on the cover. So it's got all of these like quirky drawings and like weird alien creatures on it. But the old packaging caught me, and I am excited to read some more from the author of Xoxo. Another novel or book that I'm always looking for when I'm thrifting is anything by Tolkien, which is the author of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbits, and I have quite a few old versions of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings series as well. But in this particular trip, I ended up finding two other old versions of The Hobbit. This one in particular is the 50th anniversary edition, and it was copyright in 1937 and 1938. This one is super quirky, just like the art on it is super weird. There's our little hobbit, which looks a lot more like Samwise Gamgee in Lord of the Rings than a hobbit. I'm moving it around too much. And then this is apparently Smeagol and or Gollum, and it looks like a cross between a Halloween witch and a vampire, and it's not great, but you know, he's also not great. So I obviously picked that one up. And then there is this version of The Hobbit, was also copyright in the same year. This one is gold and has like Gandalf and the hobbits and not the hobbits, Gandalf and the dwarves and Bilbo probably in here. And then the giant eagles. Because everybody knows who watches The Hobbit that we gotta have some giant eagles coming in to save people, because why not? I also found this wacky looking Stories of Suspense book that includes 9 tales of the weird. This was copyright in 1963. What drew me towards this is the birds covering the title, and Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds is one of my favorite classic films, and the author of The Birds is actually in this with like 9 other tales. And last but not least is this book called The Dream Palace by Brian Steffens, and this was copyright in 1986, and it just drew me in. The cover alone just drew me in. This is why I bought it. It looks very like Taj Mahal-y, very weird, and I don't even know what the storyline is about 100%. Just something about a treasure and some sorcerers, and I like sorcerers, I like treasure, so I went ahead and picked this up too, so I have a lot of vintage reading to work on in the next however many months. And that was all that I had from the thrifted books that I have picked up in the last few months or so whilst thrifting, and now we will get into clothes. The first piece I found thrifting was at St. Vincent de Paul's, and this was in the men's section. It's a very loud pattern. It's this blue and like mustard, emerald green, burgundy, wintry sort of pattern. It's from O'Hanlon Mills is who created it. This is a men's large, and I paid $3.60 for this. Myself and one of my best friends, Mahela, are big ugly sweater wearers, as we say. We love old men's sweaters. We love loud, obnoxious printed sweaters, and this was no exception. She actually found this one for me, and I actually found a couple for her as well. So ultimately, I think I will get the most wear out of this in the winter months, and I love it. I also have been really looking for, in the thrift stores in particular, a really nice, soft, worn-in men's flannel. I used to have one that I bought years and years and years ago. I don't have it anymore because it shrunk a few too many times, and it's just not the length that I would like it to be. So I said that I was going to search for one, and I did find this one. This is from Croft & Barrow. I paid $3.68 for this, and this is a men's flannel once again. This one is like a chocolate color and off-white and blues, which I thought was super cute. It is the perfect oversized fit to it, which I can appreciate. I will wear it over leggings on my lazy days. The sun is setting, and I can't tell if I'm looking orange or not. I've been filming all day. This is like the 3rd video I've filmed today, so just bear with me. Then of course, yet again, another tie-dye t-shirt, because I literally cannot stop. Help me. I need to go to tie-dye t-shirt rehab, damn it. I paid $2.09 for this. Question. Anyone else in the Wisconsin area or anywhere else in general, has your St. Vincent de Paul's prices just like been jacked up? Because I remember a time when I could go and get things for $1, or like $1.50 was like pricey. $2 for a shirt is cheap, and I'm aware of that, but I feel like the prices at St. Vincent de Paul have gone up slightly, but wasn't going to say no to a tie-dye shirt. Never have. Apparently never will. So we might as well just get the second tie-dye t-shirt out of the way too. This one has a boob pocket though. You can put, you know, pencils or half the taco you didn't eat in here, or maybe you have a little hamster you carry. Whatever the case may be, you can boop it in this pocket. This one was also $2.09. This one is a little bit more white than the other one in terms of the tie-dye pattern. This was a men's medium. Glad to have it in the collection. Speaking of old man sweaters, this is pretty old man sweater-y. This I paid $3.98 for. Again, for this. St. Vinny's for this. It's like an oatmeal color, if it would like to ever focus. It's like an oatmeal color with like red, blue, and green threaded in between. It's huge. I think this is like men's double X? I don't know. XL? 1X? Who knows? It's a big daddy. It is comfort at its finest. I guess it's not super ugly. It's not the ugliest old man sweater I've ever bought or worn, but you know, it's up there. Most people would be like, girl, what you doing? Looking fashionable as hell, clearly. And that was it, I think, from St. Vincent de Paul here in Green Bay. Now we're transitioning into the Marinette Goodwill finds. Let's just start out with some more tie-dye. This I found in the men's t-shirt section. It's a medium. I don't remember what, I mean, there are like these like weird taggy things. I don't remember what colors were what, so I can't give you prices on this, but I know I probably spent a maximum of $20 on all of this. I can't remember which tag was like half off day at Goodwill either, but this is a tie-dye shirt. It is worn in, but I have nothing like it because it is all shades of pink and purple and orange. There's like a couple paint splatters on it. I love it. This shirt that I picked up in the women's extra large section is a burgundy ringer style shirt with like the cream neck. Again, third video. Words are hard now. The cream colored like neck. This is actually an American Eagle, the soft and sexy t-shirts, which I really love. I picked this up as just like a basic tee. I normally don't go shopping for name brand. I don't go in saying I'm looking for Polo Ralph Lauren and American Eagle. You just can't thrift that way. You just have to go in and see what you find. So I picked this up because it's a little bit flowier and a little bit bigger, more roomy. It's a basic t-shirt, and it was, you know, not $20-some for what they were probably selling it as originally. I got it at the Goodwill for probably a couple. Can we just talk about this shirt though? Can we just? Scooby, the Scoobs. I found this in the women's section. Doesn't have a size. This is from 1998, so it's a little bit old. It's a blue and white tie-dye t-shirt, but it also incorporates flower power and peace signs and Scoob himself. I love Scooby-Doo. I don't love the new Scooby-Doo or whatever the hell, Mystery Inc., whatever's going on. It's not the old one. I used to have VHSs of the original Scooby-Doos, and I loved them, and I still love them today. I even love the live-action versions that they made, the two of them, that people were like, what the hell are you doing? Those are good. Those are good movies. They're on my shelf for a reason. Couldn't leave him behind. And then the Kiss shirt. I love band tees too. I've worked very hard on pruning down my band tee as I'm wearing a Guns N' Roses top right now, but I have pruned them down because I just would buy and buy and buy, and you don't need 1,002 band tees. You do, but you don't. So this one I picked up because I love Kiss. I love a lot of classic rock. I love a lot of oldies. I do like a lot of current rock. Rock, metal, and hard rock is like my genre. I listen to some EDM and like some indie stuff as well, but that's primarily what I listen to. And I just loved the ketchup and mustard vibes I was getting. This is going to be super easy to just pair with anything. So in part 1 of the thrifting videos, you would have seen that I had quite a few like old school Columbia pieces that I had picked up off of Depop. And I found this and I almost just like shit myself right there. This is the coolest, most obnoxious vintage Columbia piece you will ever see. It is obnoxious pink with like teal and purple and lime green, and on the back, cat hair, on the back it says whiz bang. Look at the colors, just look at the colors. It is very obnoxious. And I don't know if this was a collection they did, like the cat hair, the whiz bang collection. I don't know. I don't know what that means. All I know is that I love it. I'm obsessed with it, and it's wild, and it's fun, and is vintage, and I love it. And then another weird like graphic t-shirt that I found at the Goodwill is this one. It says graveyard shift on the bottom, and it's what it says it is. It's like a creepy tree, the graveyard scene. Actually, quite similar to my thigh tattoo I have, which is like pumpkins and a Halloween graveyard scene. I picked it up because it was just kind of weird. I liked the purple and like the yellow colorway and Halloween things. The next thing I found at the Goodwill in Marinette is actually a PJ set, and some people might actually think this is really ugly, but I love it. It's actually an old Victoria's Secret set. I always get so excited finding old Victoria's Secret lingerie or PJs at the thrift store because I worked there for so long and I know how expensive these once were. This one is like this, or it's really like a darker orange rust color PJ set, and it comes with the silk short bottoms. They like stretchy elastic. And then it comes with a crushed velvet, like, thicker strapped tank top, which obviously I love, because I love anything crushed velvet. And then on the same day, I remember this day, I found another set as well. This is like the long sleeve, long pants version, and it's like just basically a ton of colored stripes. It's got like this fun, like Calvin Klein-esque waistband, and there's a few buttons on the front there. So you've got the pants. Simon's not even phased. And then you have like the long sleeve button up, almost men's looking shirt. And this is really old. Like, just look at this. Look how old the Victoria's Secret logo is. I wish I could find like another tag on this to tell me like when this was made, because I know it's a pretty old set. Another graphic tee I found is actually this Captain Morgan shirt that was partnered with the Wisconsin Badgers when they must have went to the Rose Bowl, because it says, "Got a little Wisconsin in you?" question mark. On the back it says, "Raise your glass, Wisconsin, to life, love, and loot." And I picked this up because it seemed just funky. My dad actually works for Badger Liquor, so sometimes he gets shirts that have, you know, whatever Fireball or whatever he's selling that he will give out to bars, etc. This just reminded me of something that he would maybe get at that time, and it's Wisconsin Badgers themed. I'm a huge football fan. So this is just going to be a fun knock-around shirt. I don't even drink a ton of Captain. I'll drink Captain and Coke once in a while, but I just liked the color, the design. It's Badgers themed. Speaking of crushed velvet from earlier, I picked up this emerald green, like crushed velvet, like skater dress. This is vintage from All That Jazzy. I would go as far as to say that this is an old, like, show choir dress or something of that nature. It's just got, like, a pretty horizontal neckline, double straps. It's pretty sheer in here, and it just flares out at the bottom. It fit me really well. It cinches in at the waist to give a really nice figure, and I just love crushed velvet for the even though the holiday season is past. Clearly Christmas is a couple months gone, I still thought that I would pick it up for cheap and I will wear it next year to like a holiday party or an event of some kind. Invite me to your Christmas events and parties ahead of time, and I'll maybe wear this. Last but not least is another graphic t-shirt, and this one is has a story behind it. I was searching on Depop not that long ago for like some old Patagonia stuff, because I love Patagonia too, vintage or older Patagonia, and just like the symbol with the mountains on it. Wasn't really finding anything, wasn't going to spend too much money, so I just like gave up that dream, just tossed her to the wind. I was like, nah, whatever. And then, good old Marinette Goodwill came in clutch with a Patagonia shirt in the men's section. This is a men's extra large. It's a big old boxy turquoise shirt with Patagonia on the front, and then it has the Patagonia on the back as well with the mountain range. I was so shooketh, that I had just been talking and searching for Patagonia, and I came around the corner and I was like, what is that? And I like pulled it out and I was like, it's Patagonia, it's mine. And that'll do it, guys. That's all I had in my part 2 thrift haul. Again, go watch part 1 if you haven't already. And I hope you liked this one. Give it a thumbs up if you like thrift hauls and would like to see more. And as always, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you're watching my videos, I would love it if you go ahead and click the subscribe button. There will be lots more thrifting to come, as well as many other videos. So I hope you guys have a nice day or night, wherever you're from, and I will see you later.